Good afternoon and welcome back, valuable viewers, to yet another exhilarating episode of Generation C, where we dive into all things connection, culture, and creation. My name is Jemima Ndebele.
And I am Reason Bok. This show is aimed at empowering the youth through all our three segments, which is first The Zone, School Corner, and Varsity Chatroom.
As per tradition on Gen C, we will be recapping on the Zone publication just to remind you, our valuable viewers, as to why it is the best Tuesday read. The Zone is published every Tuesday in the Algemeine Zeitung, Republican, and the Namibian Sun. A wise man once said that the root of all goodness lies in gratitude. Today we're celebrating World Gratitude Day, so please do stay tuned for our daily ad. Today, we're joined in studio by two special guests. And as much as I'd like to reveal and dive right into the interviews, let's go through our weekly publication.
On page 1, we have an article about a young man feeding the nation. And we do know Mr. Haikali is known for his passion for agriculture and empowering the youth to get into the agricultural sector.
Well, thank you. I am Dr. Haikali. I am the founder and the executive chairman of the Youth in Agriculture. The Youth in Agriculture is a youth organization that is established to address the issue of widespread agriculture and generation problem, future of farming, youth unemployment, and to provide a platform that propels the young people towards self-employment in agriculture and the other economic opportunities available in the agricultural sector. The Youth in Agriculture was established in 2019 with 2 members, and as we are speaking, we have 371 active young producers. So our objectives are aimed at making the young people to accept farming as a profitable business venture and not just a traditional way of doing farming. We also want to increase food production and agripreneurship activities in the country. We also train and capacitate the young people with agricultural training, agripreneurship mentorship to successfully venture into agriculture, such as also creating a sustainable linkages between our local producers and the formal market, and to ensure that their producers are reaching the targeted market, be it the local or international, in the form of exporting.
Thank you for that, Mr. Haikali. Now, moving on to page 2. We have an alarming article on the youth unemployment crisis in the country, which continues to create concern, with statistics showing that out of 200,000 people who are part of the country's labor market, the highest qualification is grade 12. On the same page, we have a vox pop asking the youth on their opinion on online dating. Please do stay tuned.
Hi everyone, my name is Emilia Mandume. I'm a student, and here are my views on online dating and tips on how to protect yourself from catfishing. One worst thing that can happen to anyone dating online is being catfished. I'm pretty sure we all know what catfishing is, and if you don't, it is when someone online pretends to be someone they are not. I see online dating as a platform that helps people find appropriate partners to form romantic relationships with. The first tip of protecting yourself from online dating is realizing that you can't 100% protect yourself from online dating. I know it's really a bad thing to start with, but I wanted to bring it up front. Secondly is, if it's long distance, you have to video chat with the person you're talking to, especially when things are getting serious. Thirdly, trust your intuition. The best judge and helper in all of this is your intuition. If things don't seem right, don't err on the side of giving them the benefit of doubt. It's okay to do it initially. Once it starts to become habitual, it's time to trust your gut and make them prove that they are who they say they are. Finally, verify where you can. The internet is a glorious place with tons of resources where you can look to validate things that people say. If someone tells you information and facts about themselves, it's okay to try and verify those, especially early on in a relationship. Now, I'm not saying you should go overboard and start stalking the person and staking out the places they say they go frequently, but you can Google and use social media to try and validate that they are who they say they are. Those are my tips on how to protect yourself from being catfished. Thank you.
And on page 4, we have an article that talks about the impact of censorship and press freedom, that it has, the impact it has on the spheres of life, and also take a look at the industries united by freedom of press. Please do make sure to read this.
On page 6, we have Privaat School Al Natan, who will be hosting their online chess competition on the 25th of September. Louise Campbell, the chess coordinator of the school, will share some more insight on this much anticipated competition.
Op 25 September bied Privaat Skool El Natan in samewerking met die Namibiese Skaakfederasie 'n aanlyn skaakkompetisie aan. Hierdie gedagte is gebore uit die feit dat die Privaat Skole Week van die afgelope 2 jaar nie kon plaasvind nie. Skaak as een van die sportkodes van die naweek kan egter aanlyn gespeel word en ons het gevoel ons wil graag vir die kinders die geleentheid bied om hierdie sport van hulle te beoefen. Ons het vir 18 spanne gekry wat ingeskryf het, wat 72 kinders verteenwoordig. Dis 'n lekker groot toernooi en ons is baie opgewonde oor die uitkoms van hierdie toernooi.
And on page 7, we have an article about our star teacher of the week, which is Frida Muteka, a life skills teacher at LWC's High School, which is based here in Ventu.
These little kids, these beautiful kids, they go through a lot at home. They really go through a lot of home. Some of them, they come from broken home. Some of them, they come hungry from school. But the good thing about them, they always have to show up. So understanding them from different backgrounds, from different social background, it's really something which is very, very wonderful, and guiding them that there is hope. I love being a life school teacher. I love working with my learners, and that is the reason why I'm here. And I thank God for entrusting me.
Amazing and insightful content for you all this week. I hope you enjoyed that recap on this week's Zone publication.
Generation C. I am absolutely privileged to be joined in studio today by two phenomenal individuals who are playing a critical role within our country, especially now with COVID-19 and the vaccinations that we have. So in studio today, I am joined by the lovely Miss Frida Muteka, who is the Operations Director of the Omnicare Trust. And then I also have Mr. Saddam Biwa, who is the Deputy Director from the Office of the First Lady. I would like us to touch on the topic of especially getting the youth involved in vaccinations. We've seen there's a narrative sometimes amongst the youth thinking that I'm young and I'm able to fight the virus, I don't need the vaccine. But for us to move into herd immunity, it's important for us to get especially the youth to support this. So what is your take on this and the importance that this Love Protect campaign has to create dialogue on this important topic? Yeah, Mr. Biwa.
The whole ethos around the Love Protect is also based in the phrase of protect yourself, protect your community, get vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I think we all play a role, even as the youth, as being the ones mostly in the household, which disseminate knowledge to our parents and can provide that feedback from what the experts say. I think we have a responsibility as the youth to also make informed decisions, listen to what the experts have said. And also the good reason for vaccinating is most people that have conditions that can't vaccinate. So you as a youth have a responsibility to vaccinate and try and get the herd immunity to a level where these people who have comorbidities or any other conditions that doesn't allow them to vaccinate, you are acting as a shield for them. Definitely. So we all have to really play our part, and that's where the youth can really come in, as well as the activating as we have the energy and can disseminate information further. I think that's our role that we have to play.
Ms. Muteka, your take on the youth's involvement in this drive?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a huge population of youth in Namibia, and a very mobile population as well. For those who go to university, for those who go to school, for those who have jobs, for those who socialize. It's people coming in and out of their houses every day, and this is the group that has probably the most access to social media, the most access to information. So we need to make sure that they're getting the right information, and also discerning, giving them the tools to discern and think like, okay, when I'm seeing this WhatsApp forward that's saying, if I get vaccinated, this is going to happen to me, you have to think to yourself, who wrote that message? Who's the author of that message? Why did they send that message? What does it contain? What's the motive? And so we're trying to encourage the youth to just apply their mind. So when you get a WhatsApp forward, who's the source? Can you verify the information? So we encourage them then to look at credible sources. I always say, go to the World Health Organization website, go to the ministry's website, go to the ministry's Facebook page, and look at the information there. Speak to somebody that you trust in the medical field. Speak to your doctor, speak to your nurse. These are the people that will give you the correct information so that you can make an informed decision about, getting vaccinated. But it's also very important because a lot of youth, have parents and grandparents, who are at risk, they're at higher risk, and you have to protect them because you're going out of the house every day, and if you're going to party with your friends and drink and chill on a Saturday, you come back and if you're not masking up, you're not sanitizing, you're not observing social distance, it could be that you're the one that brings then, this virus back to your family members who can't be vaccinated for whatever reason. And I think you also then have to think of children, because at the moment children aren't being vaccinated. So you then really just have to equip the youth and, give them the correct health education, give them access to the correct information, and encourage them to get vaccinated, because I think they very, if they see somebody that they respect and admire getting vaccinated, then they'll think like, okay, so if this person can do it, and this is somebody that I respect and admire, and they're encouraging me to get vaccinated, and they are fine after their vaccination, why shouldn't I do it? So that's always the message that I then preach to, members of the youth when they come and they get vaccinated. I said, please take your vaccination passport, go and show your friends that you are vaccinated and that you are fine, and it's completely safe to do so. And it's because it's not mandatory in Namibia. You have the choice. Constitutionally, it's your right to decide whether you should get vaccinated or not, which is great. But then make an informed choice, and then you have a choice also in terms of which vaccines you can get. We don't say, oh, you have to take this one, you have to take this one. We will tell you about all of them that we have available, and we'll tell you about the possible side effects, and you make an informed decision.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's another important aspect, is us setting the example, because a lot of us, we tell people to get vaccinated, but you yourself haven't been vaccinated yet. And we've seen that when initially the vaccination started, our team started going and we made Facebook posts and we shared it on social media, and it's amazing how you kind of speak to the fears that some people might have. I haven't been stuck to my fridge because of a magnet that is in my arm, and I think through us talking about this and creating dialogue, which the Love Protect does, it helps us to change that false narrative that we have within our society at the moment.
One key thing that also came out of our engagements, we also have these Love Protect sessions, but one of them was the Be Free Town Hall, which we engaged with the youth, and you could see a lot of trauma that the youth faces, whether it be scholastically or the family members that have died, and really affects the youth. So there has to be something that we have to do, and if vaccination is the solution to help us get back to normal or get us to a situation where we can function normally, I think it's our responsibility as the youth to then take that mission and then really execute. And so we have to be the agents of change at a certain point, and not only just be worrying or complaining. We have to really make a difference.
Ms. Muteka, from the Omnicare side, are there any interesting statistics or aspects that you can share from us, from your side, what you've seen, and maybe if you've seen the impact that the pop-up vaccinations have had on our numbers? Has that increased it and helped it in any way?
No, drastically. So the pop-up campaign happens every Wednesday, so in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady. And we've seen, so far we started our vaccination campaign on the 22nd of July in the Havana constituency. And the first, for July, we vaccinated about 247 people. And then in August, we vaccinated about 1,100 people. So cumulatively, it's about at the 2,700 mark.
Yeah.
And we were actually really, really proud of that because, we're working every day. Sometimes it's a matter of, sitting with somebody, having to give them health education, having to tell them, about the vaccine and their options and, just giving them the information. You don't want to influence them. You just want to give them the right information so that they can make the right decision. Obviously, for us, the right decision is to get vaccinated, but you really have to listen to people when they're talking about their fears. So in terms of the collaboration with the pop-up, it's really, really been helpful in highlighting the importance of getting vaccinated and just mobilizing, because for us, we have quite a small team. And we don't have the means to, walk around the community and say, come and get vaccinated. We are parked at a particular place and, we can walk around, within the perimeter. But it's very difficult for us. So what we did is in the beginning, we engaged with local councillors for that area. And then they went onto the radio and, told people about, the vaccination campaign. But I must say, with the Office of the First Lady, it has completely bolstered our vaccination campaign because now people come, so it's once a week, and the other partner is also the city of Windhoek, so they go on the radio and mobilize in different languages. They encourage people to come on the day. There are mics and speakers. There's some music played, and the thing is, the First Lady's office is also offering incentives, whereas us, we can, as an NGO, I mean, they're an NGO as well, but we could only afford to provide the service. So, sometimes people come there and like, what can you give me? It's like, well, we're kind of saving your life here. I think that's a prize enough. But really, with the pop-up campaigns, because the First Lady is usually present and she's a draw card because then she speaks from her experience. We also have other speakers who come and talk about their experience getting vaccinated. We have vaccination campaigns. We've got various doctors as well in the audience or on the panel where the members of the audience can ask questions, maybe questions that they've been afraid to ask. And then they ask, and then, so if I've got a question I've been afraid to ask and he asks it, I'm going to get my answer. And the other members of the public who maybe didn't think of that now know that, like, oh, okay, no, the doctor answered this, and so especially with the incentives, I'm finding that, we get a lot of people. I mean, last week we vaccinated close to 400 people on Wednesday, and that's in a 7-hour period,
Wow.
So you really do get a lot of people coming, and even though a lot of people, if they go over the mark, and because you've got a certain amount of incentives allocated, and then if you come after the 300 mark, now you're upset because I didn't get a t-shirt. And okay, I get that you're upset, but you still did well by getting vaccinated. But a lot of people do come for those incentives because in the package you've got a little bottle of sanitizer. We also give 2 paracetamols just for in case you get any pain. You can take a stat dose there.
You get masks as well as that information booklet that we've been compiling with the Ministry of Health.
In the different languages. You get an airtime voucher for phone credit, and then you get a little food voucher as well. And that's usually, and the food vouchers are, how it works is the local vendors, because we go to open markets basically. The rationale for that is because these people can't leave their workstations to go and get vaccinated because, that's what they survive on what they make that day. And if they're not selling, they're not making any money that day. So even though they want to go, it's too much time away from working. So it's too much of a risk for them financially. So we then go there, park our clinics there, have the whole pop-up session there, and then we also support the vendors that are selling food. So what they do then, the Office of the First Lady then print little vouchers, and then once you've finished getting vaccinated, you can get the voucher as part of your little package, and then you can go to any of the food vendors and give them the vouchers, and then at the end of the day, then they get their cash from the Office of the First Lady.
I am so grateful to have had you guys in the studio. I wish we could talk the whole day because this is something that we are very passionate about, especially at NMH. And we would love to share that message with our youth out there to get vaccinated and, like Mr. Biwa said, become the agents of change and shield those who aren't able to get vaccinated. So I'm very grateful for your time and for the amazing work that you do. We are very proud to have you in our studio today, and we wish you all the best for the future. And thank you once again for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now we move on to our next segment, School Corner. Please do stay tuned.
Hey guys, my name is Vicky.
And I'm Lahia.
Welcome back to yet another exciting and fantastic episode with School Corner. This segment brings you all the exciting news about school news. All this exciting news on schools all over the country. Lahia, what do you have to say for us this week?
This week we have Augustinium ISWB, Coastal High and Okanja Secondary School. First in line we have Augustinium Secondary School with the principal giving a tour of the newly renovated Hotel Standard School Hostel.
Hi guys, welcome to the August Rush School newspaper. Stay tuned as our principal shows us a tour of our newly renovated hostel.
Where the track and so on is there, and also here you still have more. They can walk around. Maybe you are the prefect. The plates must be taken out of the tables. You need to use those trolleys. Yeah, and then here, the stove. This is the one connected to the gas bottle. If you keep talking, I will listen to you.
Sorry, sir.
Connected to the gas stove, you just switch on. You know, the old gas stoves, you will switch on with the matches. That's why the old kitchen bent. But now, you switch on, it just heats itself, just like electricity.
Next, we have ISWB as amazing content for us on their front page.
What an amazing content right there. Now let's take a look at what Coastal High has for you guys.
So joining us today is Mr. Calvin Martin. He is the principal of Coastal High School here in Swakopmund. Hi Mr. Martin, how are you?
Good day Irene, I'm fine and we're happy to have you at Coastal High School today.
Thank you for having me. So Mr. Martin, you have quite an incredible school garden here at Coastal High School. Would you tell us a little bit about your school garden?
Yes, we're fortunate that we could build such a beautiful school garden at Coastal High School. It started way back, and as the years gone by, we have managed to put in a lot of effort, and with the support of Mrs. Moody, our guardian teacher for the garden, which is doing extremely well with the garden and with the assistance of the learners, we have what we see here today at Coastal High School. And we're proud to have this garden at the school, and this garden helps us in a way to assist our soup kitchen also.
Mm-hmm. So what is the role of the soup kitchen in your school?
Soup kitchen is to provide a meal at least to some of our learners who are in need of meals and who do not get a proper meal some days. So then they are more than welcome to get from the kitchen anything that they want.
And I know you are also hopeful that your soup kitchen will not be stigmatized in the sense of learners being able to get a meal from their soup kitchen even if they just forgotten their lunchbox.
Yes.
So how many meals roughly in a day does the soup kitchen provide?
So what we can do, if we have the ingredients available, we just make a big pot of soup, and whoever is in need can get a cup of soup. We don't just give it to specific learners, but whoever is in need, so that all of them can enjoy that.
Up next, we have Okanja Secondary School, and what an amazing front page they have there for us. Next, watch as the Okanja Secondary School editor tells us more about Seco Daily.
Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel Moretti and I'm excited today because of our newspaper that's coming out today. We have worked so hard for this newspaper, so everyone that's going to read this newspaper, I hope you will enjoy yourself. And I just want to say thank you for those who have worked hard in this group, and for those people who are going to write examination. Good luck to all of you. Bye.
Wow, what a fantastic school corner. Now let's hand over to Varsity chatroom, and do make sure to subscribe and join their Telegram channel to read up more.
And from us is Adios.
Welcome back to Varsity Chatroom. For our interview segment, we have a very special guest. We have Caitlin Mastor. Caitlin Mastor is a Namibian student from Windhoek, and she shared a video with us where she talks about her struggles, her experience as a student studying abroad. She's currently studying for her bachelor's degree in English in Thailand, and she tells us about her experience that she's faced so far. Please do enjoy this video.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Masarp. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Windhoek, Namibia, and I study at Stanford International University. It's located in Bangkok, Thailand. There are two types of universities, Stanford universities. There's one in Hua Hin and there's one in Ramanai. I am located in the one in Ramanai. I'm also part of the student council of Stanford University. I study applied global communications. It's in the English major department. I chose it because I love the language English. It's more than just writing essays, learning the language, or learning grammar. You learn more about journalism. You learn more about public relations and so much more. But also because I love writing. I've always have since high school. And yeah. Okay, so the course is about 3.5 years. I'm almost done. I have 2 terms and internship left, excluding the one that I'm in right now. So I've been at Stanford for 3 years now. Okay. The challenges that I face this side is mainly outside the university than it is inside the university. In the university, everyone speaks English. All the courses and classes are taught in English. If you do not know the language very well, they will help you. There is the CAE, that's where all the students go for help, whether it's with the language, learning the language, perfecting the language, as well as help with their course, their assignments, writing essays, and more. So the CAE is basically for everyone, not just foreigners. Yeah. Okay, so right now, the university is online, but hopefully it will be hybrid. This is when the university is half virtual and half face-to-face. Yes. The other challenges you face is when you're outside of the university is basically just the language barrier. Most of the people speak Thai. They don't really speak English, but they are willing to learn. So basically when you learn Thai, they learn English, and that's basically really fun to do because they're very into it and you also get excited learning a new language. Yes. But basically you just learn the basics, like asking for food, like when you go to a restaurant, for drinks, where's the bathroom, also directions from where you want to go, if you want to go to the mall, if you want to go to school, if you want to go basically in English, but they are willing to learn. So basically when you learn Thai, they learn English, and that's basically really fun to do because they're very into it and you also get excited learning a new language. Yes. But basically you just learn the basics, like asking for food, like when you go to a restaurant, for drinks, where's the bathroom, also directions from where you want to go, if you want to go to the mall, if you want to go to school, if you want to go basically anywhere you want to go. Okay, so my experience with the university during the pandemic is basically that since everything was online, I was back home for a year. So I just experienced the challenges of internet connections and miscommunication sometimes because of the internet. But other than that, it was good. We do our courses now on the Blackboard program, and that has really made a lot of our learning processes and everything much more easier for ourselves as students and for the teachers as well. Any advice for the freshmen? Yes, I go by the term work hard, play hard. I don't mean that in a very funny way or anything. I just mean that the harder you work, and in the sense of you finish your essays, you finish your assignments, you do well, you have to know why you there. You were there for a specific purpose, and that is to study, and that is to do well and make your parents proud in a whole different country. And with that, you also experience the culture, the fun, the partying, the entertainment, the side, and that goes into playing hard. So my strategy for you guys, or my advice that I use for myself, is I finish everything that is important and that I need to focus on, and it gives me more time in my spare time to play hard, to have fun and enjoy every experience I could have being here. So that's my advice for you. Work hard, play hard. Both work very well. It's very healthy for you, and you understand life much more better, and that's how you also become more independent. Oh, and the last thing I want to give advice for you is time management. Know how to manage your time from the beginning, from day one of university. Start your time management from there. It helps, it works, and it will get you through university till the very end.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that video as we did. But before we end off, we have another video from NAMCOL where we captured highlights from the NAMCOL graduation celebration that took place last week. Please do make sure to watch this video.
Aristotle, during the classical period in ancient Greece, once said, and I quote, "The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet." End of quote. I subscribe to this notion in that as graduates you might have experienced bitterness in your journey, especially last year. But today you experience your enjoyment and taste the fruit of your hard work over the 2 or 3 years of your studies with NAMCOL.
Sadly, we've come to the end of this week's episode of Gen C. I'm Jemima Ndebele, and until next time, this has been Generation C.